Nevada State Railroad Museum, Boulder City. This is a place that is so incredible, so beautiful, so filled with American history. And you know what? There's always something new happening. So I'm making a return visit to see the boss man.
I love the history, the story, the objects tell stories. My name's Randy Hees. I'm the director of the Nevada State Railroad Museum in Boulder City. In previous years, trains were all about possibilities. They were the way that you would go somewhere. They were the way that you would get things. Your Christmas catalog from Sears Roebuck would arrive by train. The things that you wanted out of that catalog would arrive by train. If you were going to go somewhere, you would go by train, and then gradually cars took away some of that business and trucks took away some of that business. But trains were still in our everyday life into probably the 1960s. Was that moment when we entered most passenger service and we closed down depots. And now trains are something of an inconvenience when the gates come down and you get to count boxcars going by. Las Vegas was 250 people before the railroad came. And when the railroad came, it brought 400 employees to be stationed in Las Vegas. And they had to build a city to be Las Vegas. They built houses, and one of the amazing things, when they built the houses in 1908, they had indoor plumbing and electricity at a time when less than 10% of American homes did. So it comes into your life. It isn't just the train tracks, but here's the railroad bringing you water and electricity and modern principles and jobs that pay money. And the railroads built America.
Randy's passion and knowledge translates into an incredible museum experience. The collection of locomotive and rail cars will transport you to a time past. Some of these exhibits carry a significant amount of history, specifically to Nevada. Randy's especially proud of this amazing piece of history.
This is called a 40-8 or a Merci car. So this is just a French boxcar, but it has a Nevada history. This car, during World War I, would have taken the doughboys to the front. And it would then have been just a regular boxcar. And then during World War II, it would have taken prisoners of war to prison camps or potentially Jews to be executed. But after the war, the magic happens. After the war, the US put together a relief train. And they put together this train of 800 or 600 boxcars full of relief supplies. Started in Los Angeles and Seattle and San Francisco, shows up in New York. They're put on a ship and they're distributed all over Europe. A French railway worker seeing this decides a year later, things are getting a little better. He gathered 49 of these cars, had them painted, decorated with symbols of the French provinces, filled with gifts for Americans. One for each state, and there were only 48 states at the time, and one to be shared by Hawaii and Washington, D.C. This is the French car.
This is the Merci. This is the
Merci,
gratitude
it's a thank you car. Yeah, so we're really pleased. It was restored by our sister museum in Carson City, and now it's here for now.
And real quick, just tell me about the individual insignias here.
So these are the insignias of the old French provinces. And so these are actually, they were renamed after the French Revolution. But all of the various places in France, Bern near Switzerland, we've got, Orleans, Comte de Fox. So literally, and they're on the other side. And so tells you about all the places in France, all the places that contributed to the gifts in the car.
It proves the point that what it looks like is a beautiful boxcar, but it really is American history. I mean, that's an incredible story.
Well, one of the things museums do is they take objects and they tell stories. And this one has such a great story.
Such a great story. Yeah, you've really added some things to the museum here. I'm really impressed.
There's another car that you might want to see, but it's not here. It's down in our shop building where all the good stuff happens. Would you like me to take you down there?
Did you just ask me that?
Yeah.
Let's go. Randy, you have been busy. There's a lot going on here. What about this baby right here?
So this one's particularly special. It's a private car. So before somebody had their own 767, you had a private railroad car. And this was considered to be the the most elegant private car at the time it was built in 1899.
1899?
1899, it was built by the Wagner Palace Car Company.
Now, first off, the thing is huge. To be a private car is just...
It's 85 feet long.
Unbelievable. Well, the detail inside, and I know that you're still working on this, but man, it's a thing of beauty. Tell me about some of this.
So one of the things is this car was never painted inside. So many of these cars, the interior was butchered. So this one wasn't. So the first room, the observation room, is English oak. The next bedroom is Primavera. The dining room is mahogany. The third bedroom is bay laurel. It has a bedroom for the hired help. It has a kitchen. The dining room could seat 12. This was luxury, but was donated to us in 2016. So we're now starting the rehabilitation.
Well, you know, you said it was luxury. I would still ride across the country in this, wouldn't you?
Yes, and it rolls. It works. I mean, this is not a restoration. This is a rehabilitation. The interior's
now, explain the difference.
Well, actually, we use the Secretary of Interior standards for historic preservation. So under that, if you take a piece of wood off and replace it with the same kind of wood, you're repairing, which is rehabilitating. But if you try to bring something back, if you have to add a new porch because the porch was torn off your house, that's restoration. So this car doesn't need restoration. It needs rehabilitation.
What else needs to be done with this, and how long will this restoration take?
So we're hoping that this primary phase is less than a year.
Less than a year?
Less than a year. We'll reside the car, letterboard, paint the car. We'll continue. The cleaning will probably take years, but we'll have the public in while we're doing it. It was one of the things, we don't like to make it beautiful and then put it out. We believe the public likes to see it while it's happening. But now this car has also another interesting story.
Tell me.
Well, we found this picture from a Chicago newspaper taken in 1917. So here is this car, and there is Teddy Roosevelt.
Holy cow.
The time Taft would have been president, but here is Teddy Roosevelt using this car. And
this is too good.
This is too good.
I gotta recreate this. Teddy Roosevelt was right here.
Right there.
Vote for me. Will you please? Will you please? I promise.
Almost party.
Cold beer and free pizza for everybody, whatever it takes. This is an absolute thing of beauty. How satisfying is it to you to see it go from point A to point B, to really come back to life? What does that feel like?
It's probably the part of my job I love best, is doing the planning, the historic research, the working with the volunteers who are rebuilding it and actually doing the work. We have a group of about 8 volunteers actively working on this car.
I can see where the passion comes from, and I can see the look in your eye, and I think I get it. Do you have more going on here?
We actually do. We have another new car out back. It's not near as pretty as these, but it might be more historic.
Well, you know, if you need somebody to help out around here...
we might find something for you to do.
Come on, let's go. I want to get my hands dirty.
Okay.
Well. What do we have here?
So, right here are 2 of our most important artifacts. They aren't the prettiest, but they're working pieces of equipment, and what makes them so special is that both of them were right here in Boulder City.
Tell me about that. What do they do?
The dump car.
That's this one down here?
Yeah, it was owned by 6 companies and was used to carry the sand and gravel to build Hoover Dam.
No kidding.
Yeah, so there were 57 of those operating literally 24 hours a day for 4 years.
Where did you find these?
We found this one in Fremont, California, in a railroad museum. It had been sold to a railroad as a piece of work equipment, and they had collected it out of a junkyard after they threw it away. They gave it to us.
That's amazing. So this actually helped build the Hoover Dam.
Yeah, absolutely. So just arrived. We've been cutting pieces off it, straightening them, starting to put them back together. It'll get a coat of glossy paint and 6 companies in big block letters, and literally be one of our most important artifacts.
This is wood.
That's wood.
The original wood.
Yes.
From back in the day.
1927.
Where else are you ever going to see this stuff?
Yeah, but this is here. This is a piece of the true cross for this place.
Randy, you know me, buddy. I'm here to help. Is there anything I can do for you?
We'll get to that in a second. Now, this piece.
Oh, you want to talk about this piece?
I want to talk about this piece, too. So when they finished the dam, 6 companies moved out, but there was still a track to the top of the dam, and they needed a locomotive. So the Bureau of Reclamation bought this one in 1936. So it's a 30-ton gasoline locomotive. It has a 4-speed transmission and a clutch. But if you've hiked the tunnel trail down by the dam, this is the locomotive that ran through the tunnels.
That's incredible.
So these 2 pieces, they're not the prettiest, but they absolutely are the most important about this place.
I totally get that, because without these guys, this place doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Well, how can I help you?
Oh, let me show you.
And that's how the day wrapped up. I learned about international cooperation and appreciation, luxury from a time past, and how the foundation of Southern Nevada was built, all involving trains. The Railroad Museum in Boulder City. Make sure you visit. Make sure you say hi to Randy. Hey, if you're lucky, he might even put you to work.